Jamestown City Council voting session meeting to order. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Sheldon.
Here.
Doles.
Here.
Scotchman.
Here.
Brzezinski. Here. Faulkner.
Present.
Montevideo.
Here.
Enquist.
Present.
Gonzalez.
Here.
And President Bracken.
Here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and then remain standing for the invocation by Reverend Dr. William Blair from the police. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please pray with me. Our Heavenly Father, we join together tonight to honor you, to give thanks for our lives, our families, and the privilege of working and living in the city. I thank you for the leadership of these men and women, for those who oversee the many departments that serve our citizens. The city is blossoming with the promise of spring and summer, of graduations, vacations, and family celebrations. We ask that you would guide us through the days ahead, the challenges that we'll face, and the events planned for our community. Bless our people with safety, our industries with prosperity, and our city with unparalleled success. Give us your wisdom tonight, and guide this council as it conducts the business and the life flow of our city. Amen.
Amen. Can I get approval of the minutes from the March 30th, 2026 voting session?
So moved.
Thank you. Any messages from our mayor this
Yes.
evening?
We have one. Dear council members, in April 2026, the city of Jamestown welcomed 2 new employees to its ranks. Sandra Bell joined the Jamestown Police Department as Clerk 2, and Caleb Martinez joined as a police officer. I kindly request that we acknowledge and extend a warm welcome to our new hires during the upcoming April 27, 2026 City Council meeting. Very truly yours, City Kimberly A. Eklund, Mayor.
Thank you. Now we have the opportunity from anyone that would like to address the council. Please state your name, your home address, and limit your comments to 5 minutes. Anyone like to address the council, please step to a mic.
Good evening. My name is Larry Kuhn. I live at 215 Fulton Street, right here in Jamestown, New York. I've been here long enough now to see what's happened in the city, and it's going downhill fast. You guys don't see it because you're not out in the streets like, average citizens are. I watch handicapped people walking in the road simply because you guys say you're not responsible for the sidewalks. Ain't that part of the city's responsibilities? You guys won't let the homeowners fix the property without fining them. So when are you guys going to fix the problem that the handicapped people are dealing with? And it's not just the handicapped, the kids even have a problem with it. But nobody's out in the streets like the average citizen. When are you guys going to stop pretending whatever it is you're pretending and start doing something to benefit the city? 30 years ago I lived here. 30 years ago it was a good, prosperous city. I look out my window now, I see 4 to 5 drug dealers on my street, dealing drugs. I make a call, I tell somebody about it, nothing happens. It's like we're talking to dust in the wind. Yeah, I've been here several times. I don't come every week, I don't come once a month. And I don't do that simply because, like tonight, I'm going to leave early. I help friends in the morning, I help friends in the afternoon, I help friends in the day. I help people I don't even know. That's what it is to be a good American. Doesn't matter what your feelings are. What matters is what you do to help the next person, not to hinder them. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to address the city council this evening? Please state your name, address, and keep your comments 5 minutes. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Anthony Tota. I live at 144 Clifton Avenue in Jamestown. I'm making my comments and opinions based on media reports. In the April 22nd, 2026 Jamestown Post-Journal, beginning on the front page, an article entitled "Taxing Talk Hits City" talks about the City Council's proposal to override the New York State tax cap law. The article first column incorrectly states that this law is federally based. It is a state-based law. The same article fails to refer to the section and page number for the rest of the article. My reasons for opposing a premature override are: 1, it promotes an irresponsible mindset to budget planning with a one-way assumption that the budget will exceed the tax cap without any updated data that may show no need to override. That formulative data is still months away, making overriding unnecessary and speculative at this point. 2, perennial overrides in January and February are not only baseless due to the lack of expenditure and revenue figures at that time, but ignore the intent of the tax cap law and its purpose to keep excess spending down. And our own Mayor Eklund wants such perennial overrides, which will burden the taxpayers even more. 3, Corporation Counsel Raimondo reportedly inferred that a decision to override now would diffuse public opinion in debating the issue. Reportedly, Raimondo pointed out that Buffalo and Olean, and I quote the paper, are having very public debates about their taxes right now. If this is the case, then give the citizens of Jamestown the opportunity to be informed and the right to be heard by debate, for example, and the proper amount of time to become informed and to be heard. The Post-Journal article stated that the override issue was tabled until the May meeting. If not for this delay, this could have been decided tonight without any time for public debate or input that was given to the people of Buffalo and Olean. Corporation Counsel Raimondo reportedly states, "I'd rather we handle this now in a transparent manner and try to avoid that ugliness as these cities are going through that. This is not tax season. The override is directly related to the amount of taxes that Jamestown collects. During tax season, citizens have time to be apprised of separate budget issues and the opportunity to respond to those separate budget issues. That takes a period of months. Maybe that is why the people in Buffalo and Olean are so upset. To override, this override vote locks people out of the budget process with no time to become informed on budget, revenues, and costs and debate those issues. Override is a useful tool required to keep budgets in constraint and needs to be used in conjunction with the lengthy budget process. During the budget season, people will have time to decide whether or not override is necessary based on updated relevant statistics. Now we just don't have actual statistics to show the need for override, making override premature. In an alternative, give the people of Jamestown time to understand and debate and opine on this issue, even by referendum. Thank you.
Thank you. Excuse me. Is there anyone else that would like to address the city council this evening?
Hi, my name's Reverend This 301 East 8th Street. I know I brought up, the last time I was here, the crime on Fulton and East 8th, and just last week we had a shooting. Not only on East 8th, just like right down, a block from where I was. And then they hit this, by the 7-Eleven. I was just coming home from the emergency room from a migraine situation, and my Uber driver couldn't get, through everything, and I was walking, on the sidewalk, and I almost stepped in the big, gigantic pile of blood, and, looking at the bloody shirt that was laying on the ground. It's just really disheartening that it's getting this bad. And just last night at 1:18 a.m. on my camera, I caught somebody trying to break into my front door. So it's getting worse. I mean, most of it's coming from a couple of abandoned houses or condemned houses on East 8th, and I know a lot of them are, you know, also using a few of the abandoned houses on Fulton. It's getting so frustrating. I mean, especially when you know that somebody tried to break into your house. And the only reason why he stopped is because he heard the click from my camera being set off from the motion sensor. I mean, if he would have got in, he wouldn't have had a great time, you know, because I have a watchdog, but at the same time, I mean, that's pretty scary. I mean, if that happened to any of you, you'd be pretty concerned and you'd be in my position right now talking to you. So I know that I spoke with an officer today about it, and he said that they do have a little bit of overtime that they've been working on the area, you know, but I just see them driving around. You can obviously see at this one house, they're doing drugs to the point where this one guy the other day, my neighbor was saying, he was on the ground on his knees, head face first in the ground, you know, and this is just a daily thing. And it's like out in the open, you know, they don't care, because I don't think they care because nothing gets done about it. You know, I've made a lot of complaints, and I hate calling 911 all the time, but, you know, I just want you guys to know what's going on, and it is escalating in that area. It really is. I mean, there's been some, you know, decent changes, but now that the snow's gone and the sun's out, they're all coming out of the condemned houses and just making everybody in that area is, you know, a living nightmare to be around. I mean, like I said to you guys before, I don't even like going out and doing yard work because I'm accosted by it. You know, if it were you on your neighborhood, what would you do? And then, you know, the hot mic issue that we had last week about, you know, making fun of, and you know who it was. I complained about my neighbors, I complained about, you know, the sidewalks, I complained about potholes. It was just really unnecessary and disheartening, because I've heard from a lot of other people that that's why they don't come to these meetings anymore. And I just had a little bit higher expectations of not to be made fun of, because God knows what you guys are saying behind our back. You know, and there was no apologies, just excuses as to why that happened. And you know who they were talking about. So, but thank you. I mean, things are, like I said, there's some good and there's some bad, but it is escalating very quickly. And when you're having shootings twice in one night with masked people, I mean, my husband saw one of them running down Fulton Street, and so did a couple other people. But I mean, he knew that there was cameras, so he put his, you know, shirt up over his head so he wasn't seen. I mean, if that happened in your neighborhood, my husband heard the shots. Everybody heard the shots. I mean, that is so scary. I know it was targeted, but there could have been some kid walking down the road, and they could have gotten in the crossfire and been killed. So, but thank you for listening.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to address the city council this evening? Please state your name. Oh, you know.
Yes, ma'am, I know. Paul Wolf, 212 Fulton Street. My gentleman over there, I'd actually like to address a news article first, but I do have something else that Raven touched on, and it touched me personally, but then I had a couple thoughts about it. First, the news article. Unnamed officials from Jamestown's government made the claim that some of our local ordinances cannot be enforced because we want to preserve state, federal, and constitutional rights. I'm a lot more educated than my GED says, because I do a lot of research on things when I hear things. New York State is not a Dillon rule state where the state tells the local municipalities what their laws can and cannot be. New York State is a home rule state with hybridization of Dillon's law, Dillon's rule. We are very broadly allowed to make our own ordinances. And if those ordinances are found to be unconstitutional, when they're challenged, they are changed. Until then, as long as those laws are on the books, you're wrong when you tell the media and they print that you cannot enforce your local ordinances because of state, federal, and constitutional rights. Whoever of you said that, you should probably retract it. Secondly, notifications go out when live streams happen. We all know how this works. We all have cell phones. And if you happen to know that something is scheduled to happen and you get a notification about it on an unscheduled time, you look, you want to see what's going on. I was reassured that it wasn't me I was reassured that it wasn't me personally that was being referred to. I know other people believe differently, but I take people at their word. And I was actually reassured by that. But then I thought about it. The comments that were made were making fun of the top 3 complaints that the Department of Development fields. So not only were they weren't making fun of me, I'm sorry. They were making fun of all the hundreds of citizens out here in your city who call and complain to your Department of Development. That man needs to be fired. He doesn't care about his position. He thinks we're a joke. I truly expect the mayor's office to have something to say about that. Have a good night.
Is there anyone else that would like to address the city council this evening? Please state your name and home address in 5 minutes.
I'm Champ, 225 Bowen Street in Jamestown. It's interesting that I'm following another individual to talking about the override. But since that override situation has been with us over the last 2 years, I dug into this a little bit further. And according to the state of New York, taxation and finance, and I asked this question particular to them: does a city in New York State need to hold a public hearing to override the 2% tax cap? Their answer? Yes, the city in New York State must hold a public hearing to override the 2% property tax cap, because the override requires the adoption of a local law, is subject to the standard procedures requirements for all local laws, which include a public hearing and specific notice periods. This is directly from the New York State Department of Taxation and Finance. For the last 2 years, you have not had a public hearing for the override. Therefore, you're in a direct violation of the state of New York and its requirements under an override provision. So what does that mean? That means a lot, because you forfeited that aspect 2 years ago because you had no public hearing. And even in the Jamestown Charter, which is another format, yes, in Jamestown, New York, and across New York State, adopting a local law requires a public hearing for state law, and a public hearing must be held for each proposed local law to allow public comment with notice published as such for 5 days in advance. You cannot bring this up for vote tonight because you'll be in direct violation, because you have not stated how and when you're going to hold a public hearing. And that public hearing is going to take place before the vote. If you don't believe me, check it out, because if you vote on this tonight,
We're not voting on it.
if you do anything associated with advancement,
It's a local
You can't-
law, it's automatically tabled for a month. The hearing is scheduled, and we did have a hearing.
you did not have a public
Yes,
hearing
we
on
did.
the override. Where did you have it?
You had it right here.
When? On the
I don't
override?
know the date, yeah.
On the override.
We did last year. We did
Well,
last
this is this
by
year.
charter.
This is this year.
It will be scheduled before or after we vote on it by our charter. We did it. We
You
followed
can't have it. You can't have it in conjunction with your budgetary hearings. It's a separate hearing dealing with the override.
That's not what he said, though. He said it will be read tonight and tabled like a normal local law.
Every
Because
local
I
law
am
is
not
tabled.
expressing a sense of, or requesting a sense of urgency, so therefore it's tabled, and before that, a public hearing will be held. So not today, but within the next month, a public hearing will be held.
So you had a public hearing scheduled, or you're thinking about holding a public?
Well, if it doesn't pass tonight, why would I have a public hearing scheduled yet?
What's on the agenda is a local law.
Once it's read as part of the process, then we will schedule the local law. the public hearing. Yes,
After it's tabled, yeah.
after.
It's automatically tabled. Every local law, no matter what it is automatically tabled.
Table for 30 days, right?
Yes, unless the mayor
Correct,
sends a letter of necessity, which she has not
no.
in this case, so it'll be automatically tabled and a public hearing will be scheduled.
So last year, when you override the process for the tax cap, did you hold a public hearing before?
I believe so.
You did not.
I believe so. We'll look for the date, but I'm sure we did.
And the year before that?
I would imagine we did because that's what we do.
No, that's not what you always do. That's what you think you do.
Well, we'll look up, we'll make sure.
Well, come up with that answer and see whether or not the time frame of overriding. By the way, so everyone understands the conditions of the city regarding taxes. City of Jamestown hasn't had a population increase since 1950. Therefore, the ability to pay is shrinking. And consequently, the issues at hand are the city goes after the taxpayers to help balance the budget. An individual has only cash or credit or some form of equity. So you don't have to worry about it too much other than political fallout as to how much it's going to be. You can go to the people and say, we need X number of dollars, and you're going to pay it. If you don't pay it, we can foreclose. We can do a lot of things to you if you don't pay it. So you're increasing the taxes
Thank you,
above and
Mr.
beyond
Chair.
what you should need to do.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Is there anyone else that would like to address the city council? Okay. Any presentations of petitions and any communication? Thank you. Now we'll have our reports from our standing committees. We have 16 resolutions under finance. The first three will be presented by Councilman Faulkner.
Thank you. I have a resolution authorizing payment of the regular audit.
I'm sorry. Are there any questions or comments? Clerk, will you call the roll?
Councilman Sheldon?
Aye.
Schultz?
Aye.
Scotchmer?
Aye.
Jarzynski? Aye. Faulkner?
Aye.
Bonfiglio?
Aye.
Enquist?
Aye.
Gonzalez?
Aye.
President Brackman.
Aye.
Thank you. I have a resolution supporting the Department of Development's application submission to Southern Tier West, STW, for funding to be provided by the Appalachian Regional Council, ARC, Area Development Program.
Are there any questions or comments on this resolution? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Sheldon?
Aye.
Schultz?
Aye.
Scotchmer?
Aye.
Jarzynski? Aye. Faulkner?
Aye.
Bonfiglio?
Aye.
Enquist?
Aye.
Gonzalez?
Aye.
President Brackman.
Aye.
Thank you. I have a resolution authorizing Tanya Tabor to attend the New York State Public Employer Labor Relations Association Annual Training Conference to be held June 28th through July 1st, 2026 in Saratoga Springs, New York, with expenses to be paid pursuant to Section 77B of the General Municipal Law.
Are there any questions or comments on this resolution? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Sheldon?
Aye.
Schultz?
Aye.
Scotchmer?
Aye.
Jarzynski? Aye. Faulkner?
Aye.
Bonfiglio?
Aye.
Enquist?
Aye.
Gonzalez?
Aye.
President Brackman.
Aye. The next four resolutions will be presented by Councilwoman Jarzynski.
Thank you, Madam President. I have a resolution authorizing Lieutenant Josh Nickerson and Sergeant Dan Overend to attend the DCJS Non-Fatal Shooting Seminar to be held at the Embassy Suites Hilton in Syracuse, New York on May 1st, 2026, with lodging, meal, and gas expenses paid by the DCJS Give Grant.
Are there any questions or comments regarding this resolution? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Sheldon?
Aye.
Schultz?
Aye.
Scotchmer?
Aye.
Jarzynski?
Aye.
Faulkner?
Aye.
Bonfiglio?
Aye.
Enquist?
Aye.
Gonzalez?
Aye.
President Brackman.
Aye.
Thank you. I have a resolution authorizing the mayor and police chief to receive the 2026 Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant, JAG, Program Award for $24,327.00.
Are there any questions or comments regarding this resolution? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Sheldon?
Aye.
Dolce?
Aye.
Scotchmer?
Aye.
Jarzynski?
Aye.
Faulkner?
Aye.
Montpellier?
Aye.
Enquist?
Aye.
Gonzalez?
Aye.
President Brackman?
Aye.
Thank you. I have a resolution authorizing Give Grant Coordinator Sydney Robinson and Crime Analyst Holly Catta to attend the 2026 LEIU/IAL-EIA Conference to be held April 25th through May 2nd, 2026 in Orlando, Florida, with all expenses paid with Give Grant funds.
Any questions or comments regarding this resolution? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Sheldon?
Aye.
Dolce?
Aye.
Scotchmer?
Aye.
Jarzynski?
Aye.
Faulkner?
Aye.
Montpellier?
Aye.
Enquist?
Aye.
Gonzalez?
Aye.
President Brackman?
Aye.
Thank you. And a resolution authorizing Deputy Chief Adam McKinley and Officer Kyle Liuzzo to attend the 2026 New York State Law Enforcement Recognition event to be held at the Albany Capitol Center in Albany, New York, from April 27th through April 28th, 2026, with lodging, meal, and gas expenses paid by the Jamestown Police Department pursuant to Section 77-B of the General Municipal Laws of the State of New York.
Are there any questions or comments regarding this resolution? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Sheldon?
Aye.
Dolce?
Aye.
Scotchmer?
Aye.
Jarzynski?
Aye.
Faulkner?
Aye.
Montpellier?
Aye.
Enquist?
Aye.
Gonzalez?
Aye.
President Brackman?
Aye. The next three resolutions will be presented by Councilman Dolce.
Thank you, Madam President. We have a resolution authorizing the mayor and police chief to participate in Strive for a period of April 1st, 2026 through March 31st, 2027, with funding in the amount of $209,478 provided by the state of New York.
Are there any questions or comments regarding this resolution? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Sheldon?
Aye.
Dolce?
Aye.
Scotchmer?
Aye.
Jarzynski?
Aye.
Faulkner?
Aye.
Montpellier?
Aye.
Enquist?
Aye.
Gonzalez?
Aye.
President Brackman?
Aye.
Thank you, Madam President. We have a resolution authorizing the mayor and police chief to receive a grant award of $75,000 to be utilized by the Jamestown Police Department to purchase attire and pay for training for the SWAT team.
Any questions or comments? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Sheldon?
Aye.
Dolce?
Aye.
Scotchmer?
Aye.
Jarzynski?
Aye.
Faulkner?
Aye.
Montpellier?
Aye.
Enquist?
Aye.
Gonzalez?
Aye. Excuse me.
We have a resolution authorizing the mayor and Mark Ritzer, Jr., PE, to allow for an in-engine overhaul of Jamestown Fire Department Engine 5 by Ascendance Truck Centers for a total amount not to exceed $24,021.28 to be paid for from the contingency fund, subject to approval of the Corporation Council as to form.
Thank you. Any questions or comments regarding this resolution? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Sheldon?
Aye.
Dolce?
Aye.
Scotchmer?
Aye.
Jarzynski?
Aye.
Faulkner?
Aye.
Montpellier?
Aye.
Enquist?
Aye.
Gonzalez?
Aye.
President Brackman?
Aye. The next two resolutions will be presented by Councilman Gonzalez.
Thank you, Madam President. A resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Junior's Design Build Firm LLC for ADA sidewalk ramps 2026 for a total bid amount of $158,425.00, subject to the approval of corporate council as to form.
Any questions or comments regarding this resolution? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Sheldon?
Aye.
Dolce?
Aye.
Scotchmer?
Aye.
Jarzynski?
Aye.
Faulkner?
Aye.
Montpellier?
Aye.
Enquist?
Aye.
Gonzalez?
Aye.
President Brackman?
Aye.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and Mark Ritzer, Jr., PE, to purchase one new John Deere Gator for the Parks Department from Land Pro Equipment for a total amount not to exceed $15,608.60, which includes a trade allowance of $4,500.00 to be paid from account H9551.04400, subject to the approval of corporate council as to form.
Are there any questions or comments regarding this resolution? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Sheldon?
Aye.
Dolce.
Aye.
Scotchmer.
Aye.
Jarzynski.
Aye.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Bonfiglio.
Aye.
Enquist.
Aye.
Gonzalez.
Aye.
President Brackman.
Aye. The next two resolutions will be presented by Councilman Enquist.
Thank you, Madam President. The resolution is lifting the hiring freeze to allow for the hiring of one junior civil engineer position in the Department of Public Works. This position is vacant as the result of a recent employee promotion.
Any questions or comments? Will you please call the roll, clerk?
Councilman Sheldon.
Aye.
Dolce.
Aye.
Scotchmer.
Aye.
Jarzynski.
Aye.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Bonfiglio.
Aye.
Enquist.
Aye.
Gonzalez.
Aye.
President Brackman.
Aye.
Resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement between Winning Tree LLC of Ellicott, New York for concrete work, miscellaneous right-of-way construction for a total bid amount of $255,250 and no cents, subject to the approval of the Corporation Council as to form. This project will be funded through CHIPS funds.
Are there any questions or comments? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Sheldon.
Aye.
Dolce.
Aye.
Scotchmer.
Aye.
Jarzynski.
Aye.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Bonfiglio.
Aye.
Enquist.
Aye.
Gonzalez.
Aye.
President Brackman.
Aye. The next two resolutions will be presented by Councilman Bonfiglio.
Thank you, Madam President. Resolution authorizing Dan Stone, Parks Manager, Arborist, and 11 Parks employees to attend the ACRT Arborist Training to be held at the Fireman's Grounds, Jamestown, New York. The one-day training is to be held October 27, 2026. Expenses paid pursuant to Section 77-B of the General Municipal Law, subject to the approval of Corporation Council as to form.
Are there any questions or comments regarding this resolution? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Sheldon.
Aye.
Dolce.
Aye.
Scotchmer.
Aye.
Jarzynski.
Aye.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Bonfiglio.
Aye.
Enquist.
Aye.
Gonzalez.
Aye.
President Brackman.
Aye.
The next one is resolution authorizing the mayor and Mark Dixon Jr., PE, to purchase one new four-wheel drive Chevy Silverado 3500 for the Parks Department from Jones Chevrolet, Inc., for a total not to exceed $59,735 and no cents, to be paid from the account H.9551.0400.0019, subject to the approval of the Corporation Council as to form.
Are there any comments or questions regarding this resolution? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Sheldon.
Aye.
Dolce.
Aye.
Scotchmer.
Aye.
Jarzynski.
Aye.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Bonfiglio.
Aye.
Enquist.
Aye.
Gonzalez.
Aye.
President Brackman.
Aye. We have four resolutions under public safety. The first two will be presented by Councilwoman Jarzynski.
Thank you, Madam President. I have ordinance amending 175-3, licenses and permits, schedule of fees of the Jamestown City Code.
Are there any questions or comments regarding this resolution? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Sheldon.
Aye.
Dolce.
Aye.
Scotchmer.
Aye.
Jarzynski.
Aye.
Faulkner.
Nay.
Bonfiglio.
Aye.
Enquist.
Aye.
Gonzalez.
Aye.
President Brackman.
Aye.
Thank you. I have an ordinance amending 252-10, restoration of street surface of the Jamestown City Code.
Are there any questions or comments regarding this resolution? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Sheldon.
Aye.
Dolce.
Aye.
Scotchmer.
Aye.
Jarzynski.
Aye.
Faulkner.
Aye.
Bonfiglio.
Aye.
Enquist.
Aye.
Gonzalez.
Aye.
President Brackman.
Aye. The next two will be presented by Councilman Dolce.
Thank you, Madam President. We have a local law number 2 of 2026, a local law authorizing a property tax levy in excess of the limited established in General Municipal Law, Section 3-C. As was mentioned before, in any local law, it's automatically tabled for 30 days, for a month, unless there's a letter of necessity, which has not occurred, and that there would be a public hearing scheduled before that vote. So that is tabled.
Thank you.
Resolution 20, resolved that the following be and she hereby is appointed to the office of Commissioner of Deeds in and for the city of Jamestown for a term of 2 years. That's Anna Kelly, from 4/28/2026 through 4/27/2028.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments regarding this resolution? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Sheldon?
Aye.
Schultz?
Aye.
Scotchmer?
Aye.
Jarzynski?
Aye.
Faulkner?
Aye.
Montdiglio?
Aye.
Enquist?
Aye.
Gonzalez?
Aye.
President Brett?
Aye. And we have one resolution under new business that will be presented by Councilman Sheldon.
Thank you, Madam President. Resolved that the board does hereby request the city to issue bond anticipation notes in the amount of $1,500,000 at prevailing interest rates, and that the proceeds thereof be paid into the Board of Public Utilities General Fund to be used to fund the design and engineering of the Castadega Water Pump Station project.
Any questions or comments regarding this?
Just a brief comment. This did pass today at the Board of Public Utilities as well.
Okay. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Sheldon?
Aye.
Schultz?
Aye.
Scotchmer?
Aye.
Jarzynski?
Aye.
Faulkner?
Aye.
Montdiglio?
Aye.
Enquist?
Aye.
Gonzalez?
Aye.
President Brett?
Aye. Is there anything else to come before the council? If not, I will adjourn this meeting.
Can I have a moment real quick?
Yes.
I myself and another member of the staff did dig through as far as we could on our phones for the public hearing for 2025. It was held May 19th at 6:30 PM regarding the 2% tax cap. So yes, it was held, Mr. Chairman.
Can I add to that? I also looked, and in 2024, it was November 4th at 6 p.m. also.
There's your 2 dates.
Can I ask Kelma? What I was referring to was the holding a public hearing just on the 2%.
It was.
That's what it
In
was.
November, was
In May.
November the same thing, or was that the budget?
No, the budget hearing is usually held in mid-November prior to the actual voting session.
So you had a separate budget hearing in November
Correct.
on that?
Both of those dates
Correct.
were the local law hearings for the tax levy.
The reason it was in November was because that year we passed it later. Last year we passed it earlier. That's why it was in May. Similar to this year.
So we have followed state law accordingly.
And also, I just wanted to add to Mr. Toda's comment that the reason that Buffalo and Olean are going through the process is because their budget season is now. Our budget season is not until November. So that's why their discussion has come up now, and that's why they're going through it at this particular time. Just wanted to clarify that. Every city and municipality has different budget seasons. Some are in the spring, some are whole calendar year, fiscal years are different for each city, town. That's why right now, many villages and towns and other cities are going through their budget season now. Just like the state of New York goes from April 1 to March 31st. Ours is later, it's a calendar year.
Just to respond to that real quick, I'm sorry, just respond real quick. Why are we holding a budget override vote in May when our budget season doesn't start until August?
Just to clarify that a budget override vote does not necessarily mean you have to raise taxes. It just allows you the ability, if you have to do it, rather than have to go through that at the 11th hour, and it makes it even worse to do because you have to go through that time constraint of the 30-day notice, the public hearing, and so on and so forth. So we did it last year early for that reason, and we're doing it this year. If we don't need to raise taxes, we don't have to. It doesn't lock us into raising taxes at any particular percentage. It just gives you that option. That's all. When we get to the fall, there'll be plenty of debate, I'm sure, when the budget comes out.
Prior to adjourning this meeting, are there any reports from special committees? Are there any reports of city officers? Are there any reports from councilmen on administrative boards? And is there any unfinished business? So if there's nothing else, I will adjourn this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.